Hi everyone, this is Cody, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of this hydraulic disc brake kit for a Doodlebug mini bike. Okay, so on one end you have the handle where the reservoir for the fluid is held, and also the lever. And now down here on the disc side we have the actual caliper itself, which is there, and then it has this cable that runs going to the handle. Now it's pretty thick, it's not the easiest to maneuver, so the way I routed it, it basically just goes down. I wish that actually pointed up, then it could just run the way the normal cable runs, but it kind of goes down and then back up over the air cleaner box, and then along the side there, and then it just goes with all the other cables. So that's the way I ran the cable. Now the brakes themselves, they work really well. So as you can see, here's the caliper. So this has the brake pads in it, and it's what squeezes on the disc. Now my mini bike is actually the older style from around 2000, so its disc is thicker than most of the newer ones, but for whatever reason all I had to do is take off the old brakes and just bolt this on, and then it all fits okay. When you first start it up and try to back up, it seems like it tries to catch when you're reversing, but it works fine going forward. And then once you run it a bit, that problem disappears, so I may have to do a little bit of adjustment with the positioning on this. But it's mounted on this rubbery thing, so it's pretty forgiving, and it's pretty easy to install. Okay, so up here on the handlebar, so the lever that actually activates the brake is really long. So what I did to compensate for that is I just moved this back a long way, so it's almost going around the curve. I kind of wish they made one of these that's shorter, but it works fine. And then what you have to do to get the old original brakes off is basically spray some WD-40 kind of down inside the grip, and then just try rotating it and pulling on it, and then it should slide off. And then you could take the old one off, and you don't actually have to have the grip off to put the new one on, since it has two clamping points. So you just put this on wherever you want it, put your grip back on, and you're pretty much ready to go. The set that costs $50 comes preloaded with fluid and everything, and it takes .4 or .3 fluid. And then I basically have it so my index finger is kind of in the groove, so I can slow down really fast with one finger. I can skid my wheel with two. I'm probably could with one, but comfortably. The brakes are really powerful. If any of you guys are good at adjusting them, I don't know if I could adjust it so it activates a little bit further back. So I do kind of have to reach out quite a ways as it is now. But maybe that's something to do with having a thicker disc on the mini bike versus the newer ones. Maybe it's not adjusted for that, but it does work good. Now you may be wondering, why would you need hydraulic brakes? Now the main reason I got it is because I have the 6.5 horsepower motor on this one, 212cc from Predator, and it's a lot more powerful. The old motor actually had its governor disabled, so it went really fast. So it actually had about the same need for brakes, but I'm a new owner of it, so I thought I'd get it some good brakes. And the stock brakes on this were not good. I have a friend who has the new Doodlebug. I can't remember when it came out, 2011 or something. The new style with the weird looking frame, kind of dark red paint. And the brakes on it are great. They're almost as good as this. They're not as fine of control because they're not hydraulic, but if you have good brakes, there's not really any reason to upgrade. But if you have brakes that just don't work very well, like I did, you'd have to squeeze the things as hard as you could, and you'd still take a while to come to a stop. There was no way of skidding the wheel. If you have brakes like that, you're gonna be very happy with these. And I don't know about the longevity. I've only had these on for a few days now, but they've been working good up to now, and I know people who have had them on for quite a while. I don't know, they should last about the same as a cable brake, I would think. You will need to change the fluid eventually though, but I think they're great. So if you have a mini bike with 6.5 horsepower, it might be worth the investment. So let's try them out. Okay, so the first test I'm going to do is I'm just going to be riding this thing 25 miles an hour, and then I'm going to try to brake when I get to that line. We'll see how fast it takes it to stop. I'm not going to skid the wheel, so I'm just going to see how fast, just under normal braking power. Now that's about what you can do without skidding the wheel. Obviously, if you want to, you could stop faster, but I don't want to tear off my tires. Okay, so now what I'm going to be doing is coming down here, coming down this hill, and then I'll just skid the tire just to show you how easily it just locks up. Just with 1 or 2 fingers, you can just skid the wheel, which is great, so you can have a lot of stopping power. But yet, if you don't want to skid your wheel, you still have enough control that you're not going to do that. Okay, so that's it for now. Hopefully you liked the video. These brakes cost about $50 on Hotrodminibike.com. That's where you get them. And I think it's like $10 shipping. So it's somewhat reasonable if you want a good set of brakes. So if you have a mini bike like this, I'd probably recommend them. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next video.